Bingo. Hey, Emily, how you doing, honey? Treat and welcome in, sweetheart. Mrs. Middlehead, how are you? My little secretary behind the scenes. somehow, somehow I got confused with the the setup or whatever. I had it for um set up to go 8 o'clock. I just thought it. I just thought it just started by itself if I was in it, but I had to go back over it and just to get it started. It's been one of those days. Ooh, excuse me. I'll give it a couple more minutes and then I'll start. This was a this was a stream that I wasn't gonna do right away, but something I read today and heard today. I said, okay, I did the uploaded one earlier. I said I gotta do this tonight. Oh my god. Treating where's Fafo? I did go through. Cool. Okay. Because I put it out there. I'm like, okay, it should be sent out. Okay, I'm glad I did. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna jump into it, and then I can recap if anybody else when people start coming in. Okay, I said in the past, I'm a big Motley Crue fan. Here we go with the camera again. Anyways, oh, that's downstairs. Yeah, with her. See, she has it. That's downstairs. it's she's nursing it right now like a baby. All right. In the past, I said I'm a big Motley Crue fan, which I am. I got just about all their stuff. I'm missing like a couple things by them. Those three are ones that John Corabi from the band Extreme was on, and some other band he was in. I think I got them messed up the names, but anyways, that's this self-titled Motley Crue album, which I wasn't too keen on. And then there's another one, New Tattoo, back with the original members of Crue, Nikki Sixx, Mick, Vince Neil, Tommy Lee, the original Bad Boys, as I still call them and as they once were. And then there's another one I got, I forgot the name of it. It really doesn't matter. They've been playing, for lack of a better word. A friend of mine saw him a few days ago, said it was an absolute clown fest. It was a shit show. They have a new EP coming out October 4th called Canceled. I said it before. One of the songs, Dogs of War, I think it's called. It's not a bad track. It's not a bad new Motley track by any stretch. It's a pretty good track for them. I've listened to that a lot, trying to get the feel for it, to want to get back into them more. And then there's the cover that they do of Beastie Boys' Fight for Your Right to Party. I don't like it, as do a lot of other people that don't like it. there's also a couple musicians that have made fun of it. Needless to say. One of them musicians is Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. I love Dee Snider. We all grew up listening to Twisted Sister. I Want to Rock, things like that. We're Not Going to Take It. My favorite album by them is Under the Blade, the first release, with Night of the Rocker, things along that line. Under the Blade, Well, Robert, how you doing, brother? Welcome in. Thank you. Robert, I'm just talking about Motley Crue, some stories, and talking about getting into their albums. There's a couple of things I want to get off first, and then I want to go into their albums. Dee Snider is still out playing Twisted Sister songs with different people behind him playing. He was playing in Philadelphia, I believe it was, or somewhere in Pittsburgh a couple of days ago. They just put it up on YouTube. I saw it today and I laughed my ass off. Dee Snider basically said before he went into We're Not Going to Take It. They're one of the iconic songs by them, by Twisted Sister. He basically said back in the 80s, he would run on a stage like a madman, and like most musicians would go off stage to get drinks or whatever else, whatever activities. Well, he basically said that people are saying that back in the 80s, he was running off stage and coming back out, act like a mad person because he just did a couple lines of coke. Well, Dee Snider never did drugs a day in his life. Now when he does it, people are saying he's running back to get oxygen. So he starts mimicking people saying, "Oh, I'm doing oxygen and everything." He goes, "I go back to get a goddamn drink of water, a bottle of water." Okay, this leads into something he said that made me almost spit my coffee all over my studio setup, my speakers, my stereo. He goes, and he goes, fortunately, like some of my other counterparts from the 80s, I can remember my own lyrics to my own songs. I'm not falling. Hey, guys, thank you for coming in. And just a quick recap. I'm doing Motley Crue's Discography, but I'm doing a little thing that leads up to them. And you remember Twisted Sister, Dee Snider, I'm sure. Quick recap. He was playing in Pennsylvania somewhere the other night. And and our gentleman Jack is still being nursed right now. Robert, the who, the what? Anyways, Dee Snider's playing Twisted Sister songs and songs from his other band, Widowmaker. He has a band doing it for him. Basically, I was just saying was people back in the 80s would say, "Oh, Dee Snider runs off stage and does a couple lines of coke because he used to be a wild man on stage," which was never true. Dee Snider never did drugs in his life. Now they're saying Dee's running up the stage to get oxygen. The man's 69 or 70 years old, in great shape. He laughs at him. The kicker to this is he says, as he's getting into We're Not Going to Take It, or I Want to Rock, whatever, he says to the crowd, unlike some of my past colleagues from the 80s metal scene, I can actually remember my own lyrics to my songs, and I'm not butchering other people's songs. And he starts cracking up. I almost spit my coffee all over my computer, all over my microphone, all over my circle light, all over my collection right here, and my speaker, my stereo. I knew who he was talking about. Everybody did. Everybody that watched this video or was at this show knew he was talking about Motley Crue. Like I said, Motley Crue's coming out with a new EP October 4th called Canceled. One of the songs, Gods of War, or whatever it's called, Dogs of War, it's growing on me. It's an original Motley Crue song. They're first in about 10 years or so, 12 years. As for them doing a Beastie Boy cover, they butchered it. I don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. Some people are saying, "Oh, it's great." Da, da, da. It sucks. They butchered this song. But my question is this: how Motley Crue was once known as the bad boys of metal, from top to bottom. They did everything. I would say the only other bands that would give Motley Crue a run for their money as a party band, is probably definitely GNR, without a doubt. My boys from Pantera, rest in peace, Dimebag and Vinny. Dimebag would give them a run for the money like no end. Lemmy, rest his peace. Rest his soul, my favorite. Lemmy used to do Jack and Coke in Speed. That was Lemmy's drink of choice, Jack and Coke. That's why every time on his birthday, I have a couple of Jack and Cokes. And if I go to a bar, I'll have my Captain's Coke, but I'll throw in a Jack and Coke for Lemmy. And there's a drink called that, the Lemmy. Crue was a force to be reckoned with when they first came on the scene. Yes, Vince Neil has fallen up stage also and tripped on stage recently at shows, which I would not go see them now. It would take a miracle for me to go see them. Mick Mars right now is probably sitting in his chair laughing at them because of all the chaos that's going on with them. John 5, I wish he would leave Motley Crue and go back to White Zombie or to Manson or to Murder Dolls. He needs to leave Motley Crue now. I understand he's got that big fame again, that he had when he was in Manson and also in White Zombie. More so in White Zombie than anything. Hell, White Zombie's touring right now. White Zombie's playing tomorrow night in Connecticut with Alice Cooper. Another one that's still going strong. And both Zombie and Cooper come out with new albums. Anyways, I got my discography of Crue next to me. I've been into Crue since I first heard Shout Out the Devil. I had to go back one album to their first one, which is now my favorite, Too Fast for Love by them. I've seen Crue many times. And every time I saw them, they put on an incredible show. Even when they had the Circus of Clown, whatever it was called, that tour, when they had all the people come out on stage and the whole stage setup and everything, pyro, the whole nine, which they always were. The one thing Crue never was, they were arena rock. They were never stadium rock. They always start off in the arenas. They never played student stadiums. A lot of metal bands haven't played stadiums. There's very few metal bands that have played stadiums. Arenas, yes. Stadiums, no. Not too many bands have played stadiums, with the exceptions of Maiden, Priest, Metallica. They just played Foxborough like 4 nights in a row. Pantera played, but they were on the outside. Crue was once part of a great tour back in the 80s called Clash of Clash of Titans, I believe it was. I think that's what it was called. And there was a bunch of bands on this tour. No, I'm sorry, Monsters of Rock. I'm sorry, Monsters of Rock. Thank you. This came to me. Big tour was back in the 80s. It was Crew, Skid Row, Ozzy. I think Dokken was on there. A number of other bands were on. Scorpions were on there back in the day, and they played in front of probably 100,000 people over in Russia. And I think it was over here in the States, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it was. That was a more overseas tour for them. And a lot of that tour was supposed to be a sober tour because of Ozzy. Well, it wasn't. Long story short, that everybody on that plane got shit-faced, got blown away. Whether it was beer, hard liquor, drugs, you name it. Does anybody know the story behind Kickstart My Heart by Crew? Who that song is about? Kickstart My Heart is about Nikki Sixx. About him ODing on heroin. Not once. Not twice. 3 times. He would be on it, get clean, be on it, and then the last time he was at a hospital, got out of the hospital treatment center, went to his apartment. Well, no one's seen him for a few days. He went to his house. He had a needle hanging out of his arm. It was just dangling. He was literally dead. They rushed him to a hospital. Gave him an adrenaline shot. He snapped out of it. That song, Kickstart My Heart, is about Nikki Sixx. What I'm saying is these guys put out their breakthrough album that put them even further into the mainstream, that got them even noticed, was Kickstart My Heart. One of my favorite albums by them. Dr. Feelgood, Slice of Your Pie, Rattlesnake Shake, Kickstart My Heart, Without You, Same Old Situation, She Goes Down, Don't Go Away, Just Go Away. This album had so many great tracks on it, from top to bottom. And then my favorite by them, Girls, Girls, Girls. Another one. They changed up their style on this one. They're more of a biker feel to them, look to them. Just straight metal looking. You know, Wild Side, my favorite song. Girls, Girls, Girls. Dancing on Glass, Bad Boy Boogie, 5 Years Dead, Something for Nothing, You're All I Need. And then they did a cover of Jailhouse Rock on here. And they also did on like a best of. Their worst album by far is Their Pain. They didn't even, I forgot what the name of this album was supposed to be, but this was not the name of this album when it was written. And the cover was different too. This album almost didn't get released. This is when they went full on for spandex, makeup, nylons, pink makeup, eyeshadow, you name it, hair spiked up. That's when they tried to fit into being glam. And there's some good tracks on this album. I'll give them that. The iconic City Boy Blue, or Smoking in the Boys' Room, which was every guy's thing back in the 80s and 90s. I remember going to high school, we had a smoking area, you know, but we smoked in the bathrooms because we knew we'd get away with it and we wanted to be like the song. Thanks, brother. I got it here, and I got patches all the way down and on my back. I'll stand up in a minute to show it. Mrs. Metalhead, basically, I put them on there and she basically sewed them on there. Theater Pain, you know, had the classic the iconic songs: "Home Sweet Home," "Smoking in the Boys' Room," "City Boys Blues," um, "We Need a Lover Tonight," which is actually absolutely amazing song. "Use It or Lose It," "Raise Your Hands to Rock." There's some great songs on this album, but it's one of these albums that it didn't. It hit more mainstream people, and with the diehard Crew people, fans, a lot of fans didn't like it. A lot of fans just picked out those songs. If those were the only songs that came off this that they released, this album would be like an EP. Like I said, they went from being the bad boys of metal to, I don't know. It's a shame because they would put on great shows, and I mean great shows. Sell out places. One of the last times I saw them, the last time was 2014, I believe, on that so-called last tour ever. And I said then, give them 5 years. Well, they did 10 years. Everybody knows Shout at the Devil, the iconic, Looks That Kill, God Bless His Children, God Bless His Children of the Beast, Shout at the Devil, the song Bastard, which I absolutely love that song. It's heavy, it's hard, it's raw. The song Red Hot, 10 Seconds to Love, another brilliant Crew song. Knock 'em Dead Kid, my favorite song off this record. I absolutely love that one. Knock 'em Dead Kid and 10 Seconds to Love, my two favorite songs off this album, probably with the song Bastard. And then the album that got them going, that got them known, that got them known by a lot of people. Too Fast for Love. My opinion, their best album next to Girls, Girls, Girls. And Dr. Feelgood, but I put this one and Girls, Girls, Girls way up top out of all their albums. This one, from top to bottom, this album does not have a skip track. This album does not have a sleeper track, a dull track. Top to bottom. Live Wire, Come On and Dance, Public Enemy #1, Merry Go Round Take Me to the Top, Piece of Your Action, Starry Eyes, Too Fast for Love, On With the Show. Iconic album. Great album. Now that people are saying, oh, they can get back to what they were. It's too late for them. One, you got Mick Mars, who cannot move around, who is like I call him a stick figure. Sunshine, how you doing, honey? Welcome in. Thank you. Yeah, Robert, Red, White, and Crew that's not a discography. That's a best of. That's a 2-disc best of that I have over there. What I mean by a discography is that's all their albums minus 3. That's a discography. A best of is what you got. And the thing I have over there, the 2-disc that has all the tracks on it, all their best ofs, like all their top songs. And I think on that Red, White, and Blue, there's a couple cover tunes on that one too, if I'm not mistaken. I got it over there somewhere. Mick Mars is like a stick figure. He has a bad bone disease that he's had for 13 years now. He's not getting any better. He's getting worse. He's, like I said, they got John 5 that came in to replace him from White Zombie, also from Manson. Manson's still torn, which I don't care about Manson that much. I think I had the first 2 Manson albums. After like the third album, I just got tired of them and bored with them. All that goth crap and the emo crap, and I just got bored with them big time. Like I told a couple ex friends of mine, you guys never grew out of it. I did, thank God, to say the least. Patrick, my brother, how are you? Crue, like I said, Crue was once considered the bad boys, and I mean the bad boys. I remember when Vince Neil, um, Vince Neil and Axl Rose almost fought. There was a big thing going on back in the 90s between them about something he said, she said about a girlfriend and this and that. It never happened. It was hyped up. MTV had interviews. MTV had Vince Neil calling him out and Axl responding. It never happened. It would have been a great fight. It would have been. I think Vince Neil would have got his ass kicked. To be honest with you, by Axl. And then there was also an incident that happened back in early 90s at a video music award show on MTV. Yes, there was video award shows back at MTV, music award shows, real music, unlike it is now. Between CC DeVille and somebody from Crue. They were backstage, and CC DeVille was his normal coked up self, drunk self on stage. They got to a bitter argument about something. They almost had a fight. CC DeVille and I think Vince, they almost had a fight back then. Back then there was a lot of, whose hair could be bigger, whose balls could be bigger. Who is the toughest, hair metal band. And nothing ever came out of it. It's just seeing them how they once were compared to how they are now. It's a shame. You had one of the most electrifying bands out there in Crue. That took their music up, and basically killed off that whole glam metal type deal for them. It's a shame that it came down to them literally writing songs, covering somebody's song that's an iconic song by Beastie Boys and ruining it. And then they're playing in front of, I don't know, 10, 15,000 people, if that now. And he can't, Vince Neil can't remember the words to his own songs that he wrote, 30 years ago. I understand a lot of lead singers today have to have the little machine up front, the teleprompter that has the words on it. I understand it. Ozzy Osbourne had to have it for the past 10 years of his career. Luckily, Ozzy Osbourne, as of right now, is not touring anymore. He made that announcement last year that he's not touring no more. We'll see how long that lasts with Ozzy. Or actually, we'll see how long that lasts with Sharon. The boss, as she's called. But I understand with the teleprompters. There are bands that use them. Especially, you have so many songs in your discography that you wrote. You have to remember the words. Yeah, Patrick. Cleo, welcome in, honey. Yeah, Patrick. I used to call Sharon the most beautiful, meanest bitch in metal. Because she was gorgeous, but she controls everything. She controlled Ozzy's entire career. There's rumors around, still floating around about her and the late great Randy Rhoads. Behind the scenes things. There was supposedly affairs going on. There's also rumors about hold on 1 minute, guys. Shit, where'd it go? Ow. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. There's also rumors floating around about a certain guitarist that was in Ozzy's band, Ozzy, not Sabbath, that wrote lyrics on Ozzy's first album, Bark at the Moon. He got no credit for it. I'm sure people are going to know Jakey Lee. Great guitarist. Phenomenal guitarist. He went off to form a band called Badlands. They put out 2 albums, 2 great albums. My favorite song by them, Streets Cry Freedom and Voodoo Highway. That's why I call Sharon a mean bitch. She puts Ozzy, she drove a lot of musicians away. Much like with Motley Crue, they go through many managers. Another thing, Vince Neil should be yo. Oh, shit. Oh, that hurt. Ouch. Don't do that, Ange. Oh, my God. That hurt. Oh, that hurt. Don't do that, Ange. Thank God I wasn't drinking right then and there. Holy shit. It's good. I'm sorry. But, wow. Ange, that's a first. That's a first that's okay. Wow. I mean, I've been told when I had long hair, I looked like Lane Staley. I looked like, oh God, I was compared to a number of people. Young James Hetfield. I was even told when I had long hair, I looked like Jesus Christ. So, that was a running joke. But yeah, well, I can see that, Ange, in a nice way, especially the round ones. Yeah. Ouch. Another thing about Vince Neil, I don't know if a lot of you guys know something that happened with him back in the 80s. He should be in jail right now. Or if not right now, he should have spent a good part of his younger life in jail. He killed a very well-known guitarist and singer, great musician back in the day. Does anybody, Patrick and Robert, even Ange, you might remember a band called Hanoi Rocks from back in the 80s. A guy named Razzle. Rest his soul. Vince Neil should have spent some time in jail for this. He should have spent a good, considerable amount of time. I'm trying to remember the exact year it happened, so I don't get my. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah. Vince Neil was right. It was always had the need for speed. Hey, Kelly Squirrel, how you doing? Kelly, you remember the thing with Hanoi Rocks back in the 80s with Razzle and Vince Neil and his souped up sports car? For those who don't know, Vince Neil had a serious drinking problem and coke problem back in the day. He was showing off his new car. I think it was a Corvette, if I'm not mistaken, or Maserati or something like that, or a Porsche. Him and Razzle were out driving, and they were both lit. Vince Neil a little bit more than Razzle. They're out flying, and stories is Vince Neil lost control of his car, rolled it a couple times. I think he hit something, rolled it, fuel, whatever. Killed Razzle on the spot. Killed him. If you go on YouTube or on YouTube or on Google, put in Vince Neil mugshot from 83, I think it was 84. It'll pull it up. He did, I think, 2 days in jail for killing somebody, vehicular manslaughter. They made him go to rehab, inpatient place. He was only there for a little bit. He got out. He swore he'd never do it. People seem to sweep things under the rug after a while when you become big because they don't want to deal with it, because they know the lawyers are involved. And once you're big, they don't care. That's one thing about Vince Neil that I have always held him accountable for. That's one thing I don't like. I lost friends of mine. Me and Mrs. Middlehead have lost close friends of ours to drunk driving. I lost family members to drunk driving. So that's one thing that hits me hard. But anyways, yeah, he spent no time in jail for it. Not a damn day. No time whatsoever. Yeah, Patrick, none at all. And he took the life of an up-and-coming musician. The band after that just disbanded after that. How can you go on when you're, all of a sudden he's taken like that from you? Would they have gone far with Razzle? Yeah, maybe. They did put out some quality albums then. That's another band that I do have to get. Excuse me. Yeah, but like I said, they were the bad boys. Tommy Lee with his escapades with every girl out there, including Heather Locklear and Pamela Anderson down the line. Yeah. Tommy Lee should be lucky he's alive right now and walking, to be honest with you guys. It's not funny, but it is. New Haven Coliseum, 1989, I think it was, 1990, something like that. Tommy Lee has a drum kit riser that goes up in the air, and it spins with him in it to where his kit is secured to the stage on a platform. Well, it goes up, his whole kit, and he's in his seat. He's strapped in, bolted in, whatever. The kit's bolted in, strapped in, the whole nine. He goes up, he spins in midair as he's playing. It's in a few of their videos, too. You can see a few of their videos that they made in the past. Well, The reason I say he's lucky to be alive, one of the times he did it, he went up. He was probably about 30 feet up, I guess, roughly 35. He starts spinning. He does two spins. He gets going like the third or fourth spin. Sure, let's go. Tommy Lee comes flat down on his neck and on his back. He should have been dead. They kept it in their set. They were wild. That was one thing about metal bands. You know, growing up, why we called them posers, because they did their shenanigans on stage to get attention from the crowd, all the girls in it, because they knew they're gonna suck it up and pay it. I didn't mind. I thought it was cool, but when he fell off that riser, he should be glad he wasn't up like he normally gets. There's a reason now he only goes up so high with it. Back in the day, he would go up 100 feet with it. That's why they would, in the arenas, they made sure that the stage covering was set back. So because his whole kit came out from the back of the stage. It'll be either on the side, like this, and come out. And they would clear for him. That's why now he only goes a certain height now. He's another one that had his demons. When he formed Methods of Mayhem, his band after Crue, during Crue, actually. I'm sorry, during Crue. It was heavier than Crue at that time, but it sounded almost like everything that was out there. I had one of their albums. I think I still might. If not, I got to re-get it. But yeah, he would say he's living the rock and roll life, which that's what it's called. Same thing with Nikki Sixx. I love Nikki Sixx as a guitar player. I think he's basically whatever phenomenal. He's one of the best. Another one that has an ego. And when he formed his band 6 a.m., it was more of a gothic, doomy undertone type band. Every song that was written by 6 a.m. has to do with his life. Every song. He put that band on the back burner for Crue, and that band hasn't done nothing in 11 years now, 12 years, because he thought Crue was going to keep going. He's been living off the royalties of Crue forever. But just seeing how they all are now, it's pitiful, in my opinion. It really is. You had a band that had the world by the balls, excuse my language, but they had them. They had every metalhead out there, every metal chick out there, literally, in the palm of their hands. You put out, when you put out iconic albums like they did, and sell millions and millions and millions of records, and you're big in almost every country you go to, and you're headlining half the time. And then now it's like you try to make a comeback. I got their last album that they did, Saints of Los Angeles. It's a great Motley Crue record. They don't overdo anything. It's not like I've been trying to compare it to a couple of their other albums, and I'm still stumped on it. This came out in my eyes, even my glasses on, I can't see. I think it came out like 2012 or no, 17. I think it was 16 or something like that, something in that range. or 14 maybe. Um, again, very good Motley Crue album, very good heavy metal album. You know, it's like I think they got to the point where um, they ran out of things to write because you can only write girls, 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 Doctor Feelgood, Wild Side, Smoking in the Boys' Room, Without You, so many times. You know, again, Without You, one of the iconic ballads that they did. You know, great song, absolutely amazing song. Um, you know, it's a shame to just see how they are now, especially Vince falling on stage, can't remember his own lyrics, um, forgetting lyrics, forgetting when his song starts, when a song ends. You know, and having to have your own roadies tell you what to do. You know, everybody has a backing vocalist. You know, now, especially older bands. I know Ozzy does. But it's just sad. You know, it's sad. Let me catch you on the chat for 1 minute. Yeah, Kelly Squirrel, thank you. I knew it was up there. Yeah, yeah. Kelly Squirrel, Methods of Mayhem isn't a bad band by any stretch. No, they're not. What they put out, like 2 albums, I think it is, something like that. I know they haven't done an album in a while. They weren't a bad band. They really weren't. I think it was just something that Tommy Lee wanted to do, had to do, because I think he wanted to get away from Motley Crue. I think he wanted to get away from, you know, being under Vince Neil, because Vince Neil and them had battles. I mean, there was arguments in that band. If anybody has seen that documentary or that show, the Dirt, that MJK is in, another piece of work. Almost everything in that show, The Dirt, is pinpointed. It's right on. If you guys want to look at, if you guys want to watch a movie that is portrayed about Motley Crue, watch The Dirt. It's on Netflix, and I got the book over there about it. Well, the book that they wrote called The Dirt, which that show is in reference to that book. The Dirt was pinpoint. A lot of things in that they did in there is exactly how it was. Vince Neil couldn't keep his pants up, or zipped up, I should say, for anything or anybody. He had a beautiful daughter. His daughter passed away, I think, from cancer a few years back when she was young. Beautiful little girl. And I think that sparked a little bit more with him, more use, going downhill, going to the bottom of bottles more. And people, he still brings up the thing with Razzle, you know, saying he's sorry about it and this and that. But you're pounding a bottle back. You're pounding back heroin. You're pounding back coke. Come on, there's got to be an end to it somewhere. But now it's like, I think it all caught up to him. I think it all. Aaron. Aaron, have you ever seen Mick Mars live compared to John 5? I've seen Mick Mars 10 times live. I've seen John 5 6 times. It's two different types of guitarists. It's two different types of players. John 5 couldn't hold a candle to Mick Mars in his prime. John 5 is a great guitarist. Don't get me wrong. He's absolutely astonishing. All right? Now, you're talking to somebody that's been around this music for 40 plus years and seen these bands. I've seen White Zombie. I've seen Murder Dolls. I've seen Manson. I see what this guy can do on stage. Mick Mars. Little people know this. To get Mick Mars' sound the way it is, the way it was, he had 2 amps, 2 settings. He wouldn't tell anybody the settings on those amps. It was his personal settings. Mick Mars made one player sound like there was 3 on that stage. Like I said, John 5 is awesome. I will give him credit where credit's due. But to say John 5 is better than Mars, no. I will go as far as saying this. You put Mick Mars side by side with John 5, and you give him 2 songs to play. I can almost guarantee you, John 5 is going to stop playing, put his guitar down, and sit and watch Mick Mars play. And that's coming from a bassist. Yeah, there's no way. I'm sorry. There's Aaron Crew doing a new album? No. I will argue it to the day to no end. See, this is what I like. Going back and forth. This is what I live for with this channel. Aaron, Motley Crue is not Motley Crue no more. Okay? A friend of mine saw them last week in Connecticut. It is a walking shit show at this band right now. I seen Crew at their prime. I seen Crew when they were on top. I seen Crew and Dr. Feelgood tour in high school. Okay? No. There is no way in hell Motley Crue's gonna put an album out even close to this album. Their first one. No way they're going to top these 2 albums. There's no way. I will go to the grave saying this. Their last album, Saints of Los Angeles, is their last album. I would rather, to be honest with you, I would rather go see a Motley Crue cover band play their songs than go see Motley Crue play their own songs. And I have seen 3 Motley Crue cover bands that are a hell of a lot better than Motley Crue is. And that's no lie. They are. Aaron, they retired back in 2014. Well, I don't know how old you are. It really don't matter to me. Their last tour was in 2014. The last tour on Earth they were doing. They said they were retiring. I said it here just a little while ago. I said it past couple of streams. I gave them 5 years. 5 years before they came back for money. They came back in 10 years. They came back this year. They are a walking clown show. They are a circus on stage. It's sad. I know it's sad to say. Everybody says about Axl Rose being out of shape and this and that. Axl knows it. Axl's doing it. Axl's working on a new GNR album as we speak. The last GNR album, Chinese Democracy, was a great album. The last Motley Crue album was a damn good album. It wasn't great. It was good. I'll give them that. They peaked. Dr. Feelgood, when Dr. Feelgood came out, they peaked. When Vince Neil got kicked out of Motley Crue back in the mid-90s, when he got kicked out, Karavi came in. That album was a joke. I didn't buy that album. I laughed at that album. I did. I'm sorry. I didn't like that album. It wasn't Crue. They got back together. Vince still put out better solo projects than Crue did with that one album. Nikki hasn't done a 6 a.m. album in 10 years, if not longer. And I'm sorry, but no one's waiting for a 6 a.m. reunion. That's not going to happen. Have you read his book? Have you read the book, Heroin Diaries? It's all in that book. He's not going back to 6 a.m. No. It's a good album. I said that just a little while ago, if you were in here. It's a good album. It is. It's his life story in those albums. Life is Beautiful. That's him confessing to everything. Basically, the man, Nikki Sixx, should be glad he's still alive. You know, 5 of my heroes, my legends, are gone. How the hell are they gone? And you get these guys that are still going? Come on. You know, Ronnie James Dio, cancer, dead. Lemmy, cancer, dead. Jeff Hanneman, a goddamn snake bite or a spider bite, gone. Riley Gale from Power Trip, an upcoming power thrash metal band, great band, had the world in front of him, gone. Come on now, you know, I'm not buying at the big. It's just everybody's stuck on this Motley Crue thing. It's not gonna happen. People could say, "Oh, they can do this, they can do that." They retired 2014. Now they're coming back. Have you heard, Aaron? Have you heard their cover of Beastie Boys? It is a joke. They destroyed an iconic 80s song. They destroyed an iconic band from the 80s. That's from here. That made their bones in Manhattan, in the East Village. Come on. I'm sorry. The new EP is a joke. They have that EP drops out in October 4th. One good no, I'm sorry. Exactly. Thank you. Finally, somebody admits it. Something I've been saying about them for 20 years. Exactly. Then why do it for? If you're not doing it for anything, you're sure as hell not doing it for the fans. No. Sorry, brother. The only band that's like that right now is Metallica. Always has been. And it's proven. How the hell are they going to play 3 nights? 3 nights at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough and make Pantera play outside in the parking lot? Come on, man. They sold out MetLife 3 nights in a row. Made Pantera have their stage on the side, inside MetLife, but to the side. Why they had their big stage set up. Why couldn't Pantera play on that? I've been a Metallica fan most of my life. I've seen Metallica go from nothing to here in a matter of 5 albums. Okay? Don't know. When Metallica puts out 8 ballads, and they said Cliff Burton, the greatest bassist to ever live, the whip, the man, the machine behind that bass. Cliff Burton made them, and Justice for All album, Dyer's Eve. You know who wrote that song? Cliff Burton. You know who's getting money for it? Metallica. Okay. I wouldn't say trash. That's an overstatement, in my opinion. They're not trash. They, like you said, they bought into the money. They bought into the fame. They wrote music for the label to get big. I gotta burn it to a CD, and I will. It's. Hold on, Patrick. Hold on. Wow. I just saw something I didn't see earlier. Exactly what I'm saying. Motley Crue is re-releasing all their stuff this year, starting with Dr. Feelgood, the 35th anniversary of Dr. Feelgood. They're releasing it this November, like I said. Now you tell me who's doing it for the money. Shit. Like I said, but to call Metallica trash? No. I'm sorry. No. That's overstepping that. I'm sorry. I like I said, I don't hate Metallica. Not by any stretch. I still like them, but not like I did when I was in high school. Even before that. Mrs. Middle, I can tell you. High school? Yeah. But after a few albums came out with them, no, I lost interest in them. It's just because I don't like people that sell out. Simple and plain. And people can say all they want that, oh, Motley Crue's doing this, doing that. What are they doing? Look like clowns. For you to call them? Nah. 72 Seasons was not about them. Okay. It was 72 Seasons okay, the music wasn't that bad. The vocals weren't great. The lyrics were rushed, but it's not a bad album. There's some quality songs on that record. Not the entire album is bad. There's about, I'll say 4, maybe 5 quality songs on that record. I listened to that record the first day it came out over and over and over again. I was not even going to get that album. Mrs. Middle got it for me. And I played it. I have not bought nothing from Metallica since the Garage Days Revisited came out in 97. I got the newest one, the latest one, and I got Hardwired to Self-Destruct together with the orchestra album that they did out in San Francisco. Okay. Ah, damn, things too bright. There's the canceled EP by Crue. All right. You want to hear what your boys are doing? Can you hear that? It's a walking clown show. Hold on. Yeah, that's what happens. I said this. I said it millions of times. Every vocalist is going to sound different once they stop with the bottle. James's voice in concert Sounds great. That's the one thing that people don't understand. When you change your vocals, you're changing the sound of your album. You're changing the sound of songs. It's not anything else. Name a lot of bands today. I don't think they are. They're doing what they're a hard rock band now. They're not thrash metal like they used to be. Oh, back in 85, 86. They haven't been thrash metal in years. What are you talking about? Their last heavy album was Justice. Come on. Even Hardwired to Self-Destruct is heavier than that. Come on, man. This is what I get out of this. This is what I get. Going back and forth with people. Like I said, you're talking to somebody that's been into this music for over 40 years. That's been to over 1,000 shows. That has a collection of 4,300 CDs. You know, I mean, I'm not into the main stuff. Some of my favorite bands, Crew from the day, old Metallica. I mean, if you want to go tit for tat on bands, you know, like I said, I don't know how old you are, and that doesn't matter to me. Not one bit, not one iota. You just got to know your facts to my facts, not opinions to facts. You're gonna okay. Skid Row. Okay, first of all, Skid Row is not the same Skid Row. No. Have you listened to the new Skid Row album? Have you listened? If you listen to the Skid Row album, the new Skid Row album is pretty good. It's a rock album. Sebastian Bach can still sing his ass off. He just put out a new album, a solo album. It's pretty goddamn good. Don't ever say about AC/DC. No. AC/DC has been from day one like they are today. Aerosmith hasn't done anything big in how many years? He can't sing anymore, as far as I remember. His throat. But as for AC/DC, that's blasphemy, man. You have no clue what you're talking about. Rolling Stones is a whole different ball game. Rolling Stones is a whole different thing. That's the thing. You can't compare the two. You can't compare the two. Rolling Stones have been doing this for 60 years, if not more. And they're still going. I'm not a big fan of the Stones. I never was. But, again, how did Lemmy pass away before Keith Richards? Come on. You know? Like I said, Stones are a whole different thing. Stones doesn't have... Excuse me. Stones hasn't put out continuous albums. The last Stones album came out 4 years ago, I believe. They're putting out best ofs. Cleo, exactly. But as Aaron, for AC/DC comment, no. AC/DC has been going strong for a very long time. A very long time. Have you seen them in concert lately? They're still like 20 years old. They're putting out quality albums. Yeah, some bands. You guys should have this. You got all these pop metal bands out. Where are they going to be in the next 5 years? You got bands that have been doing this for over 40 years that are putting out great albums. Case in point, Anthrax coming out with a new album this year. Still going. great. Megadeth, still going great. Testament, still going great. Slayer, if they were still together, it would be the same thing. Then Aaron, then you have no clue what you're talking about. Because AC/DC sounds just like they did 10 years ago to me. 15 years ago, for that matter. Kelly Scroll. See, I told you. I wouldn't lie to you. That song, I spit my coffee out when I heard that. That's one of the worst cover songs I've ever heard in my life. One of the worst. Now, that's for AC/DC. Nah, they're still putting out quality stuff, both in the studio and live, for that matter. You know, it's for bands like that have been around since the early 70s and beyond that, to still be pumping things out the way they are, nah. And do it with authority and selling out arenas, not clubs, arenas. You know, it's there's bands that aren't doing that. But for them, come on now. Exactly. I agree with that. That album grew on me, but it's Slayer 2.0. That's all that is. And there's infighting now with them because you have Carrie, you have lead singer from Death Angel, drummer from Violence in there, demo from Machine Head. These guys all got albums coming out. Death Angel has tours planned up and albums coming out. All of them are working on albums. That's why I said this Kerry King is not going to last for long. And if Kerry King thinks that he's going to go back with Tom Araya and bring Slayer back, it ain't going to happen. There's too much animosity going on between Kerry King and Tom Araya now because all those songs that Kerry King wrote on that album were written during Slayer time. Kerry King never reached out to Tom. And that's why there's bad blood now. You know? It's just like the thing with Dave Lombardo back in the day. Him not getting paid. I hate to say it. Slayer's my favorite band. But Kerry King's a goddamn douchebag when it comes to business. Just like James Hetfield. Just same thing with James Hetfield. And he's still going, what are you talking about? Why? Because he's a little bit older? Come on, man. I just saw a video of Angus Young today. He's still going. Because he's getting older. Why? Because he's not hopping around like in his little schoolboy outfit? Come on, brother. He's doing his thing. You know? Gotta get old. Face it. That makes no sense. Okay, you like the band members, but you don't like the music. That doesn't resonate. I'm sorry. Tom. You talking about Slayer? You talking about Slayer? Tom's the baby. Kerry King's the biggest bitch baby out of them. And like I said, I've been into Slayer since day one. I've seen Slayer 13, 14 times. I was at Slayer's last show that they ever did. I have everything by Slayer and then some. Kerry King is the biggest douchebag when it comes to money and when it comes to business. That's why Dave Lombardo left when he did. That's why. That's why Slayer's not around today. Because he's a douchebag. He wants all the money for himself. He don't want to tell nobody about shit. I'm sorry, but the only reason Slayer kept going for as long as they did was because of Jeff Hanneman. Because Jeff Hanneman liked the music more than anything. Jeff Hanneman didn't mind being on the road. Didn't mind going to the studio to make money. Kerry King wants all the dough. It's been like that since day one. Like I say, Slayer had the best band in the world. They had the best drummer in the world, Dave Lombardo. And Kerry, because Kerry didn't want to give him more from his share that he should have given Dave Lombardo walked. Now Dave Lombardo's in 6 different bands. Because Dave Lombardo is that much of a damn good drummer. That's why. Dave Lombardo is sought after. And then you get what's his face from in Slayer now, the drummer, Bostoff. Bostoff is an incredible drummer. Incredible drummer. He can't stand Kerry. So you tell me who the baby is and who's to blame for it. Adriana, exactly. Especially in music. Whoa. Oh. I'm going to warn you one time with that. First of all, his brother didn't die. His bandmate died. Get that right, first of all. His brother didn't die. His bandmate died. Okay? Do you know anything about Slayer? Jeff Hanneman and Gary Holt were best friends. When Jeff Hanneman had to be sidelined over in Europe, in Sofia, Bulgaria, watch the Big Four. Jeff's arm is swollen up. His shirt is covering it. Gary Holt took over for him. Jeff Hanneman did not want to stop playing. The spider bite that he got, a spider bite, killed that man. Mixed with his alcohol abuse, but it was more the spider bite. So to say that, no. Gary Holt is Jeff Hanneman's best friend. I seen Gary Holt play. Gary Holt is the only person that can play Jeff Hanneman's notes, Jeff Hanneman's riffs, and his songs. So before you go off and saying some stupid shit like that, no. I'm sorry, brother. No. That ain't going to happen. Nope. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? So you've seen Slayer one time. Okay. But you're talking to somebody that has seen them 14 times from their heyday. Okay? I seen them from their heyday when it was all 4 of them. Tom, Kerry, Dave, Jeff. The original crew. The band that nobody can top. You find me an album by any band that can top Rain and Blood. You find me a band that you're going to a show and that band is not even there, and you got people chanting Slayer, and they're not even playing there. You can have the crowd chant for Slayer. It's not going to happen. Okay, you've seen Exodus twice. I've seen Exodus 6 times. I got every Exodus right in front of me. Actually, I'm sorry, right behind me, right there. Okay? I mean, if you want to go tit for tat with this, we can go tit for tat. I got no issues with that. Like I said, Gary Holt from Exodus and Slayer can play anything that Jeff put down. That's why Jeff chose Gary Holt to fill in for him. Okay? Look up Big Four. Look up the Big Four show on YouTube and watch the Slayer set. Okay? You'll see Jeff's arm swollen. And then 2 months later, Gary Holt's filling in for him because of it. Robert Hush. Idiot. But I don't know what you're getting at with that, man, but you say you've seen it twice, you've seen him once. I just got to ask you now, how old are you? That's my curiosity now. Because it's, you know, like I said, we can go tit for tat all night with this. All night. All right, people, do me a favor. If you like this, if you like this type of chaos and everything else, and you know, smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you want. Yeah, Robert, I believe it. See, Robert, I don't yell at people much, but when I know something, I'm passionate about something. And Robert, you see my collection. You know my knowledge. I fight over it. I've been doing this I've been into the scene for quite some years. I've been on both sides of the scene. I've been in it. I've been around it a lot. I've met a lot of musicians in my time, and then some. Oh, hold on, Robert. You want to see something? Hold on. Oh shit, I'm getting stuck. I'm stuck. Shit. Mrs. Metalhead put them on, sewed them on, glued them on. I got another one that I'm making. I probably got over another 65 patches that I'm gonna be doing another one. Okay, Aaron, how old are you? I gotta know this. You're talking to somebody whose favorite band is Iron Maiden. I have a wall full of Iron Maiden. I have every Iron Maiden right down there. I've seen Iron Maiden probably longer than you've been alive. You're 34. Okay, I'm 49. I don't care about the information. I've seen Iron Maiden 10 times. I saw Iron Maiden first time back in '83. When did you see him? Shut up, Robert. I've seen Ozzy. Well, let me say, every time you see Ozzy, you see Sabbath. So I combine those two. I've seen Ozzy 28 times. I've seen Metallica 10 times now. I've seen Megadeth 8, 9 times. I've seen Behemoth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You probably never heard of them. I've seen Behemoth, Polish death metal, pagan metal, black metal. I've seen them 6 times. I've seen Cannibal Corpse 12 times. What that's got anything to do with this, I don't know. Cleo. I'm serious. The age doesn't matter to me. But since you want to make it about age, saying, I seen them. How many times have you seen Priest? Do you know how many Priest albums are out? Don't Google it. Don't Google it. You got to know since you want to talk. Robert, shut up. Adriana, close. Close. But that's including best ofs too. I mean, I got every Priest right there in front of me. Do you know who? Do you know who the other lead singer for Priest was? I'm just so since you asked me a question about Maiden, without googling it, no googling out. No, it's on you ready. Do you know who was the other, Priest singer that took over for Rob Halford, the Metal God, for 2 albums? Do you know what band he was in prior, or prior to that? Or what? I'm sorry, what band he's in now? Also, I'm just wondering. Lower. I'm just curious. You want to ask? Throw. Adrian's just about, just about. I'm looking at him at all of them right now. Not to mention their double live best of from 1991, which covers 73 to 83. Live Inferno, which is double disc. That came out in 1997. See, guys, this is me. Mrs. Miller can tell you. When I get asked stupid questions, I'm going to come back with answers. And I'm just start wrapping off things. This is why Mrs. Metalhead calls me a walking encyclopedia of metal. And you can run along and get whoever you want. Bring them into the chat. More the merrier. I got all night. How long do you have? Come on, man. If you're coming to a chat about metal, know your facts. And don't ask the person, that knows his stuff. No. Yes, I've been called by somebody. She's not in here right now. Din, where are you? I've been called the Dutch Maz of metal. That hurt. Oh. I mean, don't ask him about any boy bands. I'm sure he'll know about that. Is there anything else that you want to throw out there that I haven't seen, or supposedly I haven't seen, or know about? That right there about the Iron Maiden, just that just it made me stop for a second. Literally, I saw it. I'm like, huh? Okay. No, I just got my shelf over here full of Iron Maiden stuff. I just got about 6 Iron Maiden shirts in my walk-in closet that has all my 450 band shirts lined up. Holy shit, what an idiot. I think he went back to play Roblox or Minecraft on his mom's basement, I think. I don't know. God, I need a drink now. Holy shit. Sorry, guys, but I didn't want it to get off the track what I was saying, but it irks me. That's one thing Mr. Miller can tell you. It irks me when people come in, I like the questions. I told you guys that from the very, very beginning. I like the questions, I like the feedback. I like being challenged, whether it's music, other, genres or whatever. But when somebody says about your favorite band that you've never seen them, think. No, I just got Iron Maiden hanging on my wall, up there. But I never seen them. Wow. And I don't claim to know everything, but I do know, enough. I've been around. There's been no other music besides maybe a little bit of rap that I've been into since I was 7 years old. I've been into bands like Saxon, Scorpions, YNT, Mean Streak, Riot, Cream, Deep Purple, Yngwie Malmsteen. Before he was in Yngwie Malmsteen, he was in a band called Steeler. Before Steeler, he was in a band called Alcatraz. Jesus Christ. That's six bands. That's 6 bands I just named off. Bang. Fuck. God, I love you guys. I really do. Oh my God. I need a cigarette and a double shot right now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. Quack. Sorry. I'm sure somebody. I'm sure he's gonna run tell YouTube. He's swearing at me. He's making me mad. He made me cry. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, son, Fafo is Treating still in here. I'm sure she can give me a rundown. Holy shnikes. Yeah, Fafo. Oh, it's been fun. Oh my God, Fafo, I just got questioned. How many times did I see Maiden? Or no, I'm sorry. I bet you never seen Maiden. I was like, what? Oh my God. Like I said, you guys know I love the feedback. I love the quick fire questions, the firecracker questions, whatever. But when, you're talking to somebody that has obviously sitting behind a whole freaking wall. I mean, if that dude Arenado or whatever your name is, since you said you were 34, which it doesn't matter to me. If you're still in here, I'll be gladly to pan my camera out for you. I'll be gladly to pan my camera out. I mean, inside my entire studio. And I will pick my camera up and I will show you, since I'm not an Iron Maiden fan, I'll show you my Iron Maiden thing, my Sabbath thing, my Slayer thing, my Motorhead thing. I'll show you on my entire wall, non-CDs. Jesus Christ. Adriana, thank you for coming in, sweetheart. I deeply appreciate you. Tell Leela I said hi. I'll probably be on tomorrow for more madness and chaos. Adriana, have a good night. You and Leela, thank you for coming in. I deeply appreciate you. Thank you. And thanks for the jokes about the 1928. You were close, though. Very close. Kelly, I know. I'm sorry, guys, if I lost it for a little bit there, but I'm sorry. Again, I apologize. It's just that when he said that, like I said, I stopped. My brain literally stopped for a minute there and said, "What? What do you what?" I'm sorry, but Fafo, you might want to watch the replay. It started off perfect. I was talking about Motley Crue and how they are now and how bad they are. You know, about everything with them going on with them. It was mainly about them. And I ask anybody, Ange was in here, you know, Treaton was in here, and everyone's having, I was just, you know, and boom. A kid, somebody who said, "Oh, I'm 49 or 34, by the way," or how old he was. You know, and then he tries schooling me on Slayer. That's a joke. He tries schooling me on Iron Maiden. I'm like, huh? That's not going to happen. Holy shit. I need a beer. I need a double shot in a smoke. Like, yeah. Sweet Jesus. I mean, hold on. I know you guys have seen this, but you guys haven't seen the everything completely done. I got plans for Halloween. I'm doing something in here for Halloween. I had lights that went around my other the 3-wall units over there. The lights shorted out or something. There were like Timu lights. So I guess the backing, the soldering must have just snapped. I tried putting them on today, and half the strand was like getting too bright to where they were too hot to touch. And then another part was getting so dim it wouldn't even stay on. So I had to toss the lights away. But I just go on Timu or whoever, or whatever, get a set of them. Get a couple more sets, actually. Because I still got the ones behind me over here that I got to redo. We'll do those tomorrow. Yeah, when she said that, I was like, what? And when she said about the round glasses with her hair straight, I was like, You do know I'm going to call Ange that now. And I think I'm going to find a picture of Ozzy with those glasses and put it in Discord. Hey, Ange, you be there for Halloween. And Ange could be Ozzy. Joe could be Bono from U2. Oh shit. This is way off the rails now. Ange, I love you. Oh my God. But guys, I appreciate you guys immensely. I thank you for coming in. Hold on. Oh my God, my eyes are hurting. Holy shit. Oh my God. Guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming in. Patrick, Kelly Squirrel, Mrs. Metalhead, love you. Kelly Squirrel, Cleo, Robert, if you're still here, you nutcase. Fafo, Treaton, Ange, anybody else that was in here before. Emily, if you're still here, thank you. To that dude who came in, if you want to follow me over on Instagram, it's private, but I'll add you just for that, half second so you can see my collection. There's people in here. There's people that are watching me right now that are on my Instagram that know my collection. If you want, I'll take a picture of I'll lay out my Iron Maiden on my floor in here, and I'll take a nice wide picture of it so I can fit it into that little square on Instagram about that big. I mean, wow. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like my channel, subscribe to my channel, please. If you wish, please. Get my channel out there. Like I said, I'm starting to push this thing harder and harder now. I'm gonna try to be on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. I'm gonna try to be on tomorrow a couple of times probably. I gotta look at my news apps, my updates, my news and everything. I will be on tomorrow. Guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for the chaos and craziness tonight. I appreciate you guys. Like I said about Crue, you guys know what I'm talking about. We'll see how far it goes with them. But guys, I appreciate you. Have a good night. Be safe. Take care of each other and one another. Stay hard, stay heavy, stay brutal, stay metal. Wave that flag. And like I always say, if you're going to do something, make it count. This is the Bulldog Middlehead Warrior saying I'm out. Later.